Buenos dias, buenos tardes, buenos noches, mi amigos, and good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everybody all around the world. And thank you for joining us today for another Left 4 Dead 2 competitive shoutcast. My name is MK. I'll be your caster and cameraman for today. And once again, I am not running solo. I am running with one of 404 Skilled Not Found's NA's team. I know. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great, MK. Thank you for having me here for the grand finale of Copa Peru. We've got two of the most prodigious and prestigious teams in the South American regions, Peru specifically. We've got Hokori going up against Dynasty, aka Babylonia. Both these teams have been restructuring recently. For example, we have the shift from Linux going from, I believe, Colossus over to Hokori for this for this tournament. We've also got Babylonia with some shifting around, learning now, on the roster since the start of Copa Peru. Just a general restructuring of Dynasty. They made it through the winner bracket all the way to get here, but a couple weeks ago they dropped the best of three against Hokori, which gives Hokori another shot at raising the Copa Peru Cup in the name of Hokori. We'll see which team it's going to be, Hokori or Dynasty. Initial thoughts, MK?
Oh, I am so hype as I accidentally put in my bind in there. Sorry, bind. My one level chip flex. I apologize to everybody. I gotta flex my one level chip bind in there. But I am so amped for this doll. We were chit-chatting this before we started up. We were like, there is no way that they're gonna put Overgrowth and City 17 in the grand finals. That would be something.
Right!
And shout out to
Yeah!
Shockwave. Look at Shockwave. I love you, my brother. Let me put a little smiley face in there. One of the honors of my life of them asking me to play with them. But yes, City 17, Parish, Overgrowth, Detour ahead. Those are the three maps that we're going to see be played. Of course, we could only see two, but we could also see three. We're no longer, at least we'll see two as minimum here. No, that's a minimum we're going to see. The question is what the second one is. We don't know yet. But City 17 is going to lead us off, and Tank's going to be at 53%. And I'll be honest now, when it comes to casting this map, I don't have a lot of knowledge on this, so this is going to be a little bit of a roller coaster ride for me too.
Yeah, in 2024, I got a surprisingly large amount of experience casting this campaign. But for 2025, I think this is the first time casting City 17, so it's been a bit for me too. Any early worms, early birds, early worms? I guess technically both of them are early. Any early worms or birds in the MK stream know that I'm always cheering for the odd campaigns and the campaigns that don't get played as much as the classics. No hate to the classics, but it's always fun to see something funky. And what a better place to see it than right here. And it's not like City 17 is a best of three decider. It is map 1, campaign 1. Now, I do love chapters 2 and 4, especially on City 17. We are here at chapter 1. Beautiful skeet by Zyko to start this off, avoiding the charge as well. And Dynasty has no option but to waddle in to smoke boom at the tail end. Great first take for Hokori.
I do believe that first hit is not easy to get a lot of damage with now, so I believe it was just to make sure they have a spinner in rotation. They do get damage from Spooky, all onto Zyko. Everybody sits at Fat 100, and we're already going to have our first tank of this tournament match. We'll see how many we say before this is over. Into the hands of Spooky for Dynasty, and it looks like survivors are going to retreat back to the safe room, avoid the spit damage and the boom. Except for Shockwave takes a little bit more damage. Zyko down to 93, the other two sitting at 100. So we'll have, as far as tank punches and all, 5-5 and 4-4.
I'm pretty sure a couple weeks ago when we were casting this grand finale before the bracket reset, we had the pleasure of saying something like, this is the 13th tank of the game, I believe was said at one point. With Dice Scraper Redux having 2 tanks and both of them being played for one of the teams. So we might be here for a while, folks, but this Spooky tank will not be, as he is rolling it down He takes 1,000 chip already. Smoke pull, no good. And he's going to have to finagle around with these cards. Fortunately for him, Linux not jumping over the railing, but the SIs go for him anyway. Hunt Jockey, get a little bit of damage, just allows Zyko to get cornered. Turns around for one smack to kind of do an alley-oop for the smoker pull, but he's already so low that the tank is dead with just shy of 80% bonus left for Hokori. Not a bad start at all for them. You know, the vehicles and things to jump on top of, tables, always such a tricky spot to put the tank in, and he definitely felt the pressure here on Chapter 1.
Yeah, it was a nice 2-cap too, Null. It was beautifully done.
Yeah.
Fortunately for the infected, though, that all of the survivors separated, so no stubbles come of it. It's still nice 2-cap. Smoker not able to grab the third survivor as he tried to get the early pull for his commit and had to waddle in there a little bit late, so unfortunately for that, but tank will do about a little bit less than 20% Null. 79.6 remains. They pass pills to Zyko because they find another set. It puts a bonus back over 80%, and they're almost about 80% of the way through the map too, so it is expected for map 1 of City 17 to be quite high for teams of top tier. Not easy to get any damage from the tank with that long commit path.
Yep. Well said. We go to a stairwell hit with pretty much exactly what they want. Big moment for Dynsty to even get more damage with this single stairwell hit than with the tank itself. We'll see how it goes out. Charge is currently looking like he's playing to lead the way. He will land with Ellis in the spit. Rowe staying in the spit, but look at the spread. MK and Rowe is going to seriously pay the price for her efforts to help Ellis get out. And a Jockey as well connecting. The thing is, MK, even with the saves there, he ended up having to run a long time through that spit. So, I mean, it ended up being a disgusting hit.
Yeah, it was. I mean, look at that. Almost followed up with double digits. They get him down to 63.1. They'll have one more opportunity as they come up onto full distance here. I don't know how easy it is for spawns to find here. They need to drop down now. Smoker's up. Charger dropping in. Charger melted. Spit goes on to nothing. Nice 2-boom. Maybe a common slap or two, which gets Ellis. But I do believe they'll get in pretty much unscathed. And 552 points should be the bonus. So 952, I believe. Let's see. Nope, 948. What do I know? That common got a slap there at the end. See that?
Rounds them all the way down. Quite a big smack there. And they do fall short of 1,000 points. We'll see how Dynsty can do on their survivor side. Really just came down to that single stairwell hit. It's so narrow, so if you are going to be standing and trying to cover for your teammate, there's a big opportunity for multi-charges. And you could see Hokori felt that kind of reticence to be standing there and trying to clear the SIs, and it really just came down to the front two having to deal with the whole hit. Did not go according to plan for them. We'll see if Dynsty has any plans to fix it up a little bit through that area, clean it up a little bit, or if it is just kind of an undeniable thing that, I mean, you know, nothing's undeniable, but a big likelihood of happening. We'll see if they can fix it up. And we'll also see if Hokori is going to have that powerhouse hit ready for the stairwell, because that's another important part, is you have to actually get that hit ready, Charger, Hunter, Jockey, Spit, which isn't always the case.
Now, as far as while we sit here, and never mind, let's go live. Charger, Smoker, Boomer, Hunter. Opening attack for Hokori, their first infected round. And of course, like we said, Wristburner joined them. Longtime Frag4 / Pubstar member. 8-time champion as well. Charger, nice spawn in between. Tries to get a punch. I don't think he got it though. And it's only going to be 1 damage from Wristburner. All goose eggs on the board. So far, Dynsty. Strong start.
I believe it's also going to be a 2-2 charge jock for the follow-up hit. This is a run-back hit, so they're only going to have 3 SIs. What are they going to have available to them? It's going to be the Spitter Boomer Jockey. Spit immediately goes. Slows him down, but I don't think that this should ultimately matter a whole lot, MK. Maybe I don't know. I think this is just kind of whatever. I'm kind of shocked the Spitter's still alive. Like, what's he planning here? Another delay? Another delay? He's just gonna walk past it.
Oh, he got that door pretty well. He didn't like that door.
If he had spit in the doorway where Rochelle's standing right now, it might have let it might have let him through this little crevice that he's in right now. Very minor difference, but you can still see they've taken a few. Linux has already taken a few hundred chip just from the few times that he's been able to see these survivors, anyways. This is all UMK.
He's in the door, and Linux on top of the barracks truck surrounds them. The survivors kite him around. Oh, they're staying on opposite vehicles.
What?
The tank's being ran in circles. Oh, he gets a double punch. Jumps down. He gets another double punch. He gets another punch there onto Nick. Can he get anything else? Maybe one more rock? Not going to get it, and that should be Linux tank dying off there. But nice double punches. I think it was 2 doubles and a single. And Dynasty's going to survive with 3/4 of the bonus.
Yep.
And it looks like Hokori was on top by just a couple of percentages. Almost even take by both sides.
Yeah, just round about 5% is the advantage that Hokori got post-tank. But if we remember, again, this stairwell hit, which is kind of the crux of the chapter for Dynasty's SI side, this could still be a great dub for Hokori here on Chapter 1. We'll just have to see how this very important hit plays out. But as we got a boom, we got no charge. We don't really have the pieces for this.
Oh, look at him. Oh, wow. I didn't realize you can get far enough away in here for a safe boomer pop on the car alarm. Well done from Dynasty.
Wow.
Okay, now we got map knowledge in here now.
Yeah.
Remember, if you ever play on here, you know where to go to pop that boomer.
Right.
That's a great knowledge thing right there for anybody who doesn't know this map. If you're far enough away and shoot the car alarm, it won't trigger as survivors, and they've used the map to their advantage. Good shutdown.
Charge.
Oh, this is a tough choke
They
point.
got it.
This is a tough choke point.
Hear that, Charger?
What?
I don't know how you stop that now.
Oh my god! You stopped me by beating it! Oh my god! Learning is gonna get taken all the way around. Look, the commons alert. We've got a player picking up. No, they do get cleared there. But still, MK, the charger was not up for so many seconds after the boom got popped. Yes, a 1 boom happened, but it's not the end of the world. And I felt like they just gave them that charge. And we're not even in the chapter yet.
And we got commons coming in. We got commons. We got dark areas. They're trying to hold spawns right here. SI go in. Boomer gets the proxy. The safe room door is just a couple of feet away. They're going to slow here and not take any chance. Smoker gets a pull. Charger lands on him. Does land. Oh, he gets a slam. And the spit come out. And oh my goodness, Dynasty is going to go down quite a bit after 1 on City 17. And Hokori looking very good right now at the start of this grand finale.
I don't know if you've noticed this, if I'm just making this up in my head, but I feel like Hokori really likes going for off-the-wall stuff. Like, they're more than happy to take you to City 17 if that's what you want. Oh my god, tons of damage coming out there at the tail end. They end up losing by over 300. Huge. I mean, the tank fight ending up only a 5% differential, but it just absolutely ballooned from some insanely impactful hits out of Hokori. Hits that, in my opinion, Dynasty kind of gave to them. If they had just held W through that stairwell while one of the players was boomed, yeah, you've got the commons, but you don't have a charge barreling down that very narrow hallway with the stairs. I don't know. Maybe you have a different opinion. The spit there is absolutely absurd as well. I feel like Hokori had the option, or rather Dynasty had the option to defuse the situation. Ultimately, didn't opt for it. And now we've got an early Hokori lead.
Yeah, and my lack of knowing this map, I'm trying to go forward to see what's going on here, but it looks like a lot of close quarters early. And they do have a spit charge early, too. So it looks like so far, to my... what's the word I should say? after watching this map be played a bit, I would have to say, in my opinion, that Chapter 1 seems to be a little infected-sided when it gets towards the end of the map. First hit doesn't, though, but after that, it really swings sides. So I'm curious to see how well this is going to swing for the Survivor side, and the first hit already looks really dangerous now.
Yes. Basically, to start off, you've got this massive stairwell. You've got the great SI spawns. Of course, they probably would like a hunter over the smoker, but beggars can't be choosers, on this first hit. And the thing is, it volleys straight into this kind of open area, but it's a layered and like a tiered open area, which means, if a charge gets a charge off on that top level and the SMGs don't get the clears, that charge is going to be taking you all the way down to no man's land. Same thing with, other separation shenanigans that are very possible through this open area. That's what this area that's right after the stairwell is why I enjoy Chapter 2 so much. The action grows even further with Chapter 4, but let's not get too far ahead of ourselves here because we've got this nasty stairwell hit, charger, smoker, jockey, and a spit.
And the lead point looks like it's going to be Zyko taking point for Hokori, which is pretty standard. He's the front shotgun player for the team. He's going to be shortly followed by Wristburner. Yap is usually a sidekick, but today it's going to be Wristburner. Smoker trolling hard. Just making noises. Zyko trying to bait this attack out here to see if the Charger can make a misplay. And they just look very patient at the top of that corner. The Infected can drop on the stairs. The Charger can come from the front. Charger pre-spawns. They retreat backwards. And now it's a game of cat and mouse. See who can catch who. And the Smoker's a little chipped already. Down to 104.
We don't see it on the caster HUD, but I wonder, they're going to have to go soon. Yeah, the anti-bait teamer comes out. And we chip for the time being. Is Dynasty going to take this surely they just wait. And Hokori's like, all right, we'll just chill. We'll take this horde and we'll just relax.
And no spawns in between. They're doing a good job on blocking it. No bleeding, so this delay doesn't really hurt the survivors, though. But the commons are taking a while to get here now. Oh, look at them. They're all stuck inside the front. You see that? They can't get through. Because the event's not started yet.
Right. That'll be easy cleanup there. Oh, okay. They do eventually start.
Who's that for?
Look at these lingering commons.
A little friendly fire, too. Saying.
Right. I like the setup from Zyko, but he does drop down from there. It's, yeah, he's got to go for it at some point. There they go! They pull the trigger, they wait it out, and they avoid the hit. The spit spread is obviously... the spit spread is huge, but I don't think that there's anything that time around. And it does look like Hokori's ready to go. They've taken 9.5% from the first hit. A big old bite out of their bonus, but they are going to be able to press forward to this open area. I really enjoy this area, but with the super high skill level of these teams, I don't really expect players of this caliber to get caught off by some of the separation. We'll see. Jockey Smoke on the front line is good. They're able to clear it reasonably quick, but gotta say, still a pretty powerful hit for Dynasty.
Yeah, look at that now. They got an addition over 5% from that still coming out. This part of the map is really janky to me because I know you really have to know where you're going, and getting reset could do a lot of damage or waste a lot of time. And look at how fast they are turning that off.
Yeah.
And going to a safe area to wait this out, I believe.
Wow, they made an insane case. I'm interested to see if Dynasty is able to equalize that. Of course, we do have the walk forward now, I do believe. Look at Dynasty here. They're just running to the next stairwell to get set up. They've already ceded this entire territory over to Hokori.
Yeah, there's no spawns. They can't do anything there.
Yep.
The only spawn is where Rochelle's blocking on the car, so even if they do find something, it's all going to be funneled. So they're going to wait all this out, clear all the comments. But one thing to worry about is do look at the Uzi players and look at Zyko's ammo. Zyko's almost down to single-digit pump shots. In fact, he's one shot away, he will be. I don't know where ammo is, though, so it could be nothing. I don't know how close the ammo pile is, but it's dangerously low. No ammo in here.
That's better.
Dude,
This is dangerous. No, they don't have
Lyca's down to
ammo.
8 shots.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going through the map. I personally don't see really any ammo spawns. And we've got this pipeline as well. MK, this climb up pipe is going to be horrific. Look at how long Dynasty has waited. I mean, we've been chilling for at least a minute, if not longer. And the thing is, with this pipeline, it doesn't look like they're going to hit on it, but I mean, they're hitting right next to it. You might as well wait.
I found it.
But it looks like they...
there's
did.
a shotgun on the stairs.
Nice.
Just a shotgun, though, so the Uzis won't get it.
Right.
I'm surprised they don't all go down there and
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Switch out.
Exactly.
I think-
Exactly. I thought they would do that.
It looks like that's exactly what they're
They
doing.
are. Yeah.
They're going to do it.
Yeah.
They reload.
Why not?
All right, we're back in action for Hokori now. Got a little hairy there now.
It did. All you need is one weapon, though. Hunt spit's good. Catches him in the back line. Charge, stumble through the spit with the follow-up smacks. But this gives away this climb-up pipeline. And I guess Dynasty is going to be fine with that. They still sink in some good damage, but it was damage that took a very long time to come out. So we got the tank at 82%, and we still got Hokori here with 3/4 of the bonus in hand.
Yeah, and this tank is
Oh, yeah.
Wait a minute.
It's rough.
this
Wow.
jockey in the back. Oh, the hunter wasn't there to cover it, but he gets a couple of scratches onto Rochelle. Okay. Rochelle getting M2'd, so they get some decent damage. Actually, that's a pretty good chip before the tank, man. Look at that. It's almost 30%.
Mm-hmm.
This tank is not the easiest to play, though, no. I mean, you only have 2 holes, I believe, you could drop in and go, if I remember correctly. And you do have the darkness in your favor, but... Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, the darkness is interesting, but that, I mean, if the only thing you have going in your favor is an issue of screen brightness, that's not really hugely in your favor.
I didn't even hear the tank spawn. Did you?
I did not notice, to be honest.
He's about to go AI already.
Yeah. I've been watching. Yeah, he's sitting here in this vent. He's just been kind of chilling out here the whole time. He's ready to pounce, but he needs the right SI combination. First, he's got to drop down another level. He's 10%. He actually gets to 10%, but he knows this is a death mission. He will not get out of this alive. Smoke into the smack. 2,500 HP. Charger is dead. Jockey is dead. He's got a player in the corner. Tries to spread the love. Gets the smack off. What? I thought he was going to get another one. I was going to lose my mind if Shockwave went down right there, but ultimately he does not. Losing about, what, about 20% of the bonus, which, you know, considering that tank, it's not horrible for Dynasty, but they are, it's definitely Hokori having their way with the enemies currently on the Survivor side of Chapter 2.
Yeah, having their way is an understatement, man. They melted that tank very respectably. The SI could not do anything. Hunter pops over. Pre-spit goes in. Charger stumbles Nick in the spit.
Yeah.
Hunter will land. I think... No, Coach is just out of the reach of the spit.
Wow.
They'll get a couple more dings out of it. Not much, though. Down to 44. 491 points to be exact. But they will get a couple more opportunities, whether it's 1, whether it's 2, but it's time to go up the elevator. I don't think they'll get a hit on the outside of this. So close to being able to get an extra hit. Nick can't get in. Oh, the jockey comes in. Okay, the jockey latches on. He gets some damage. And now it's a ride up.
That hit by Dynasty before they started going to the elevator was probably my favorite hit of the series so far. The long charge stumble to get him off that ledge that he was so smartly hiding on top of to bring him into the spit. Hunter just centimeters away from bringing that into a double spit situation, and it was where Hokori was holed up, just like posted up, clearing out commons, ready for anything, and Dynsty is able to slip one through against, you know, a team with one of the best aims in the game, in the business. There is 420 points of bonus on the nose left as we get to the end of this chapter 2. Where's the hit going to come? Smoker Hunter Charger Spit.
They let him come up. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Thought for sure they would hit him on the transition up, so this looks like it's going to be the last hit because there's not much more map to navigate. Look at their distance, it's almost full. There's the safe room door, so this is going to be it. 414 bonus remains. How much will be taken off by this final attack from Dynsty? Coach takes point, but Coach is slow, so this is interesting. Coach goes into the safe room, goes back out. Charger rockets in. Oh, and it's a double cap, almost a tri-cap coming out there. Charge spin successful. They get him all the way down to 350. Good finish there by Dynsty.
Okay.
Let's see what the tally will be for Hokori. 1,800 even. And now this gives Dynsty to make up some points. Anything above 32% will break into that couple 100-point delta that they're down here and all, but one thing, I don't know if you are aware of this, but do you know if this campaign has 4 or 5 chapters? Because I am not sure.
It does. It has 5 chapters.
Ooh.
And it has upwards of 3 tanks on the finale. I'm almost certain that is literally 3 tanks on the finale. The finale itself is just, I mean, it's one of my favorite finales to cast. We'll see if we actually get a finale in this best of 3, because like we said, we're probably going to be here a while, unless one team can just 2-0 it. Quick and simple. We'll certainly see. Hit is ready to go, and remember, this was a very strong, in theory, stairwell hit. And the spit was insane for Dynsty. We'll see if Hokori can find the same success. And this is it's a pretty tough chapter to survive through, except for the tank, so see what they can do. Jockey's good. Charger follow up. A long charge in there. Spit drops down. Beautifully done. And the funny thing is, I feel like Hokori executed on the hit so much better, but the in tally, as far as bonus hit, is almost identical.
Yeah, slightly in favor for Dynsty by like less than 1%. That was how close it was. So pretty even, if you ask me. But they do get out of the stairwell. They're pushing up to not clearing the commons quite as well as Hokori took this area. Smoker's trying to get a pull. Jockey's coming in, finds a target. Smoker lands. A 2-cap comes out, gets cleaned up pretty quickly. Hunter ripping away of Survivor, still not cleared yet. And the damage is up to 20% off of Dynsty. Not a great start here on the chapter 2 of City 17.
I think Hokori did that bait timer. Remember at the start of the chapter, they did the bait timer. I was wondering if it was intentional or not. Well, if you see how many comments have been through this area, I have a feeling that was intentional by Hokori. There was a double boom, yes, but look at all of these comments. Man, I don't get me wrong, Hokori had to deal with comments as well, but it felt like they were literally able to just walk through an empty parking garage and start the event and then back it up to this spot. Dynsty has had to work a lot harder through it, swashbuckling their way through a jungle of common infected. They lose 20% of their bonus in the process, 10% being taken per hit. And question is, what's Hokori's next move? Because Shockwave is about to come up. Do they fancy a hit through here, or do they want to be conservative with it?
It looks like they want to drop here. They got to be a little cautious. We'll grab one. No real threat here. I think they just hold this, clear it out. Hokori will be fine with that too, because they're like, we want something else besides this boomer. Which would be really weird, because Shockwave just killed 2 SI right in a row without the attack going. I'm just saying, no, it's
They
literally
know
what they did.
they want.
Yeah, they
I
know.
think they're positioned for the pipeline. No, look, the jockey's already spawned in. He's ready to grab it. Charger is still Charger's gonna grab him. In the spin, cycling SI after SI for this right here, and they definitely got their money's worth. Two players just waddling, waiting rather around in that shallow pool of spit. Definitely not recommended. And they go to 69% before the tank. And funnily enough, MK, I feel like this is almost identical. Am I crazy? I guess they still got some a hit or two to deal with, at least one more hit to deal with. But right now, they're looking competitive enough against Hokori, funnily enough.
Yeah, they need. Oh, the smoker's gonna get a full forward for the charger, it would seem, and we have another pause coming out.
The insta ready up. Okay.
Oh, it was
okay,
a mistake. Okay. Bind.
Charger around, get ready.
And the charger spawns in. Must have been holding the click.
They execute and all. Beautifully done. Again.
Beautifully.
Don't pop the boomer on him, though, but that was well not to do that. But, man, did they soften these guys up before the tank. Look at that damage. There's only 25% difference between them, and the tank has not yet been dealt with. So they're going to need to ace this tank. One in cap will about even it up, too, and especially if it goes on learning. That's probably going to be the tank focus. That's where all the points are right from the start.
The way that this chapter has been played out has been very unique so far, as we see the hit coming in and actually finding some percentage. You can see how unforgiving some of these choke points are, and if you have the right SIs, like if you have that spit especially, the damage is insane.
I think they're going to have
This is how
2-2-1, right? I think they're going to have a boomer now. Yeah.
Okay.
What do you think? This could work, maybe. I don't think they have
Yeah,
time to
I
sack
think
either.
Mm-mm. Zyko being given this kind of throwaway Chapter 2 tank. We'll see if he can make something creative happen with it. Do some Zyko magic here.
Shoot the tank, man.
This is all you, MK.
He's walking in. Oh my goodness, it's a triple boom. The tank gets a triple charge as well. Oh, and the hunter lands. It's a triple punch. It's a double punch. It's another punch on the Nick. There's punches everywhere. Another double punch. Zyko is going to wipe out Dynsty. And this is redline critical for Dynsty on this first game. And it looks like they're about to go down 0-1 to Hokori. What a boomer. We thought it was a miss. We thought it wasn't going to work out well, but I said it might work, and look what they do.
Yeah. Yeah, I asked the question. I said, you know, Zyko being given this tank that a lot of people will approach it and be like, I can't do anything with this. He was able to do something with it. Of course, it wasn't without a little help from his friends. A lot of it really hinged on that. But once he got them trapped in the corner, he did not let them out. Double smack, over and over and over again. Really good job to not drop the ball. When it happens in the moment, you're watching Zyko get all these multi-smacks, just keep them locked up in the corner, all four of them at the same time, and you're like, I could do that. But the thing is, it really is more difficult than it looks to keep these slippery survivors in a corner like that, and he did it with ease. We go to Chapter 3. I want to say go next. Honestly, just go to the next game. Jokingly, of course. But the truth of the matter is, even though that was a very devastating Chapter 2, score-wise is anything but devastating. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's definitely not a good situation for Dynsty. But City 17 is full of twists and turns and areas where you can lose a ton of bonus. You can even get wiped out without a quad easily. Hit comes in, charge will miss, smoke for one, boom onto two, and it will get mopped up. Pretty standard starting hit for Chapter 3.
I was looking at a leaf on the ground when the attack went in. I didn't even hear the ding for the ready up, so, but still, they're pushing forward pretty quickly here. I don't know if we're going to get a second hit. This tank's a little bit different than the other ones now. I do remember us casting a game here when Hokori made a comeback against an underdog team here with a Zyko tank. So let's see what they could do surviving This tank was about to spawn any second. Hunter learning. Oh, they're going. They're full sending everything. Oh, the Hunter got blasted out of the sky. Free spit onto nothing, and no damage comes of that. And here is the 4th tank of this tournament match for Dynasty into the hands of Chad.
Okay. This chapter 3 tank spot
I mean 3.
is...
Sorry.
You're fine. It is honestly pretty offensive to the senses here, the way it's laid out. It's just kind of an awkward situation, but there's some cool stuff that can happen. Number 1, tank lording over his domain here. Just kind of tossing some rocks out. Just having fun. There is a car that he can use as well. But you see all the trees, right? I mean, the trees are kind of positioned at a way that is uninviting for a car. You got all these other things for the car to get messed up on over to the side. So, and it's also wide open without a ton of areas where there's no vision. So it's just kind of a sad tank spot. But I felt like Zyko had a sad tank spot last chapter, and he did something incredible. Let's see if Chad has got similar plans for this chapter 3. His team definitely could use the help. Maybe some kind of crazy car, maybe a perfect rock play with the SIs coming in, but you see the charge gets caught up. It's just going to be a stumble onto Nick, and that's it. No rocks, that's for sure. But at the same time, Chad isn't taking that much damage. He's only down 200 HP.
No, and he's still holding his first pass, though. No, pretty respectfully. Yeah. That's why they send 2 hits, and they have time to send another one in.
Oh, yeah.
They're not getting good value from the damage, but, I mean, if you're still getting something, that's all that really matters. So they could go Smoker die first, then Hunter, then kill Boomer, and they should have what they want. Or else they're just going to kill Boomer. Yeah, they're just going to kill Boomer. They don't want a chance
I
to be an
love the
LOS.
moon rocks.
Moon rocks are underrated now. They're underrated, I'm telling you.
Yeah. Like, he recognizes, again, this is map knowledge coming to play. There's no skybox to deal with at all, apparently. So he just tossed them way up in there. And they're kind of like mortar shells that could land if you can time it at the same time as a good hit. It could be some big damage. I love the idea from Chad. But obviously, execution hasn't quite worked out. He is going to go ahead and start hitting the car in. Down 800 HP. Jockey Hunter Smoker. And look at the car, or look at the trees. Just completely playing goalkeeper to this car. Chad's going to continue to try to fish it around. It's not cooperating. And Survivor's backing it all the way up. I mean, look at this spot. Very reminiscent of Chapter 1 of Dead Before Dawn. After the tunnel, where there's nothing you can do. But one big difference is Chad is able to climb up here. But he's going to get down 15%. He recommits, finds a snack onto Ellis. Hunter lands. Nice jump by Coach. Not get stumbled. Quick clears. He does get cornered. Does he get finished off? No. Zyko lives to see another day. And yeah, I mean, I feel like the damage was all right from the tank, everything considered, honestly.
Yeah, it was a little bit more than 20%. The tank did a great job, but unfortunately the SI trying to just guarantee the tank's punches. When you don't synchronize like that, nothing can really come of it but just normal damage, and that's what they get. Now it's going to be what can they capitalize on with their SI the rest of the campaign. There's going to be a lot of close quarters, getting rid of that Boomer for better set of spawns. The question is, they're going to go with 3, because they could drop on them. No, it looks like they're just going to hold. Every one of these hits here now need to do something. Okay, they're going. Hunter finds a target. Charger lands 2. This is huge. Spit 1 slam, 2 slams.
Wow.
3 slams,
What?
4 slams. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro. And he lays down on the ground.
Let him die at that point. I mean, don't finish him off at all. Jockey lands for a moment. They will be able to pick up, but what a moment, MK.
If they actually got Zyko down earlier, that would have been a black and white survivor. But look at how much DB that munches away, because he was... Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That was so close. If that would have grabbed Nick instead of the survivor in front of him, Nick was dead. Nick
is dead.
Nick was dead. That was so
DED dead. Yeah.
Oh my god, Hokori really got really lucky there, no. I mean, really lucky.
I feel like Dynasty's been getting bailed out a good amount, despite the scoreline difference. I mean, Hokori's been dominating, in my opinion, here on these early chapters. It's not done yet, but I mean, Hokori has been like... Dynasty hasn't looked completely unprepared for City 17, not by any stretch of the imagination, but they've been doing a great job. But look at this. He's just standing in the spit. He has nowhere to go. The spit spreads have been absurd, honestly, for both sides. What an area. I feel like usually teams are taking these hits in a different order than Dynasty is sending them out right now, and Dynasty is actually finding some really important openings.
Yeah, they definitely are. I lost track of the camera for a second, but okay, they back up after they trigger this. Hunter coming in. Boomer misses the rocket, but it works out in his favor for a 2-boom. He got stuck on the little lip of the house, and it worked out well. And they get a little bit more damage, but in all the hit before this just melted away the damage going to 60 down to 20.
And they got a 25 VP on this one. I mean, even when it's like, this isn't working, they hit at this like wide open spot, and the Hunter weaves his way onto a survivor from up top. Dynasty, I mean, this could, but we said that before. We said this could be great for Dynasty.
Reloading.
Can they do it on the survivor side, or are they just going to get shut down? One of the last chance for hits, probably at least two. But look, another tight, close quarter spot. Neat shot into the guitar. Ellis playing a solo for us right there as he shuts down the jockey as well. What a moment for Zyko.
Still can't believe it actually did that much damage still. Kind of crazy. They did shut it down. The spit spreads at the end. They do get a little bit of spit damage on 2 survivors. But they do find an extra set of pills, which would pop it back up to 462. But this is going to be it. I don't think they're going to get more chance for damage as the spitter was hunted down and killed. Never mind. They're going to stack it to a quad. I completely misread that.
Reloading.
I'm not quite sure what the safe room is here now. I don't know how much further they have to go.
They run through here, and then it's actually a crevice over to the left side that they dip down into.
Oh, I see it. Okay.
Which can be a tricky spot. See, last chance quad, 462 bonus. They've done a good job of pruning the damage down, but can they lock in the quad with the smoker getting blown up? Not to be. Hunter not either. Charger, last chance for a little bit of damage.
Reloading.
Looking unlike. He's walked away.
Yeah, not able to get much there, and no damage comes out at the end with the last hit, but 1060 again from Hokori, 2,600 or 2,860, and this is a 600 distance map. So, I think Dynasty needs like 800 bonus to keep this reasonable.
Okay.
Yeah, because if they just get distance now, what is that? 1678? That's all they get, right? Or 1578, I think. What is it? 600 distance.
The thing is,
1578. Yeah.
If they can keep it somewhat competitive, I actually don't know how many points Chapter 4 is worth, but there's a kind of gangplank area on that where players can just die, entire teams can get wiped, pre-tank, all sorts of craziness. Dynasty is going to hope to ride that thunder that the chaos will bring. Charger, Smoker, Hunter, Boom, and Hokori being very patient with this. Attacking the back line, charge, and the hunt. Smoker leading up into the Hunter. They triple team the back line of 2, guaranteeing that they cap that back line. Shotguns, take your time, and it does end up being worth about 5.5%.
Gotta reload.
Yeah, beautifully done there. Corey attacks the Uzi players in the back, just like you said, attacking the ones in the back. Smart play, denying the skeets from the Hunter. You can still get an Uzi skeet with the Uzi or the SMG, so it is possible, but it's more of a challenge. You got to make the shots count. And the Hunter being the distraction here, not working out for anything, and that attack is just going to be some free spit damage on the Nick. while one of the SI tried to escape. But all right, third tank of the game for Hokori in the hands of Shockwave.
Don't stop now.
And where's he going? I don't know where he's going. Doesn't look like he knows either.
Anywhere where he's not going to get damaged, ideally. Trying to climb up this wall. Okay.
Their side don't even look like they want to go. Okay, now they're setting up. Nope. You just gonna send with this? There's no way.
Moonrocks? I would love the continuation of these Moonrocks. Moonrocks P2. No, just... Oh, my goodness.
It was
a
close.
little bit too close there.
I saw it. Yeah, I saw it. That was close.
Oh, my goodness.
They go back without hesitation. I don't think you can throw rocks over there. Shockwave, unfortunately.
Wow.
There's invisible walls there that'll deny that. But good
Yeah.
LOS on the first pass. Down to 20% right away after
Wow.
just one SI hit. So they're doing pretty good so far. Now it's going to be how well can they take this. Oh, he fell off! The tank fell off the roof. It looks like it doesn't matter. He's just going to go with it.
Yeah.
But they still have a boomer. Okay, no, he gets back to high ground. I'm getting baited here.
Yeah, it was definitely a mistake, but he's like, oh, while I'm here, I'll just grab my car. And also, he gets to stand. We saw not much damage taken from the tank standing up here, so he's fine to just sacrifice in order to get this other SI in. One boom, sure, but like you said, they want to get this boom, especially this wide open space. They want this boom out of here. They do. They want to keep the charge, which is surprising to me, though, MK.
Yeah, I don't. The only way the charge is good here is if they all run backwards together. Otherwise, I don't see him doing anything. But he's gonna commit with it. I like where he spawns at, but I don't know if he's gonna be able to get it. Anything there? The smoker spawns way early. No one's focusing it really. They kind of ignore it except for Ellis. Ellis isn't shooting the tank. He gets hunted down. Charger now spawns. Charger, nothing. Shockwave. Getting kited around. He gets one punch. Another punch. And the jockey lands, and I think it's going to be almost identical. No wind caps go out. And Shockwave should die off here. And they'll survive 78%. And Dynasty has some opportunity here and all. And let's just say they walk in with all of it. If they do so, they'll bring it within right now about 270 points.
But MK, there are so many close quarters exchanges as we saw from Hokori's Survivor side. We'll see. I mean, it's not just. I feel like with some of these areas, it's like it needs a misplay from Hokori a bit, not just really strong play from Dynasty as well. I mean, unless Dynasty is just pixel perfect. We'll see. Smoker Hunter, Spit Boom, definitely not the most threatening hit. They're going to send it in right now. And they do find the Hunt Spit spread on the table. Smokey pull with the smoke. He's able to avoid most of it, though.
Yeah, but the thing was, I don't know if you noticed, they cleared that, the smoker got out of the spit. I mean, when he got out of the spit, they still had over 1,000 bonus. And the smoker got 2 scratches and knocked him down to 988. So it's just the dedication from the SI, and like they don't just die; they go in and get extra damage while they're dying too. So great value all possible from the SI. So it's not like just go out and die. If you get in there and get some scratches too, do so. So all those little bits will eventually add up. As the Charger surfs on Rochelle's head, they get a pounce in the spit that's not cleared quickly. So they still get great value. Oh wow, really great value of that. About 100 points worth. They almost took that and all. That was really close.
Unless you can pick the spit there, I mean, that spit spread is egregious, to say the least. 2/3 of the bonus will still be in the hands of Dynasty. They're still leading this chapter by 400 plus points, but they're not done with it yet. They need to keep all 400 of these bonus points. In they go. Oh, charge stumble, jockey him 2 away. Okay. Simple enough.
Someone's got to be the bait here. Oh, Ellis didn't do his job. He just ran right by it and let him get the back 2 guys. But the doorway's open. Spawns are still down as they make entry into the door with ease. all the commons in the back as well. So most of the focus will be on the front here. The question is, what kind of spawns are they dealing with? Hunter gets blasted out of the sky.
Wow.
Jockey now gets M2'd and killed. Charger, the Spitter. Spitter goes out. Charger gets a double charge in the back. 1 slam, 2 slams, 3 slams. Oh my goodness. And now it looks like it's about to be close to breaking even. They still have a lead by a little bit, but what a charge separation there in the back end. That was huge.
Heartbreaking to say the least. I mean, learning. I was just about to say, like, he's been such a big addition for Babylonia, and he does his job, you know, but they still get caught in the back. Double charge, long clear times, rolling double. They do manage to hold on to 50%, as it does look like they're going to be able to walk in. And they do have a lead of 200 points, but they're in the hole quite a bit. At least it's something now.
Yeah,
It's something.
It's going to come down to is Chapter 5 allowed to be played in the best of 3? Because otherwise, like you said, GG Go Next wouldn't be far to say so. But let's do the total tally. So it's 614 now. That's the difference we're going into Chapter 4.
I think it's doable. I think it's doable with just Chapter 4.
The tank spawn have a lot to do with it. Where are we going to get it? You know,
Yeah.
I think they want 35% or lower. Anything above that is going to be really difficult. Let's see what it gives us. Oh my goodness, no. Hokori's got to be happy. 77% tank spawn. And this
Okay, but the thing is, this is not a very strong tank. I think this is the tank where it's a multi-leveled room. It's like wide open, very large and spacious room. What I was really thinking needs to happen for Dynasty is the drawbridge. They've got to get a drawbridge wipe pre-tank. I think it's just absolutely crucial.
all right.
Especially with the 77% tank.
I'm lost on where to go, so I'm just going to let the survivors lead
We'll
the way.
see it too. You will know it's fast into Chapter 4. That's why I say it. It's really quick.
Worth quite a bit, too. You see that?
I'm surprised. Yeah, it does drag on, but that again, that benefits Dynasty.
This Chapter 2 again? This is like the same hit almost.
I feel like, I mean, close quarters hits is the name of the game here on City 17. I love the smoke pool to try to keep them into the spit, but at the end of the day, 2% meager hit onto Hokori. And for those of you all at home, again, keep in mind this is a best of 3. So it doesn't actually, like, if Hokori blows out Dynasty, it's still okay. They're approaching the drawbridge. You can see it if you look up right now where the survivors are. That is going to be the most important part of this chapter, in my opinion. They do have to run across another smaller drawbridge before they get there, and that can be quite hazardous as well. But they really need to make this one land. You can charge people off and down them all the way down below. And it takes a while to get back up here. So that's what, I feel like that's what Dynasty is hinging their game plan on right now.
Man, the patience from this SI, I mean...
We have guns here.
See where they have to go. A little alley. Oh my goodness, look at this choke point. Some of these choke points are crazy.
Yep. Oh yeah.
It's also a one-way drop.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think they're waiting out the event. I think they want all the commons to spawn. Oh, they just went around in a circle.
They lost? Oh! Oh! Hunt spit, charge follow up with the stumble, double spit. Oh my god!
Well executed and all. Beautifully done by Dynasty. Zyko eats all of the damage. Down at 28. Wristburner had to take some to protect him. Protecting him really wasn't done because look at the damage.
Now we head through a very smoky part of the chapter. Fires breaking out inside the house. Low visibility. Smoker Hunter, Charger, boom. Ready to go as survivors cough their way through. Got the first of our drawbridges coming up shortly. Double boom. Gonna slow this affair for a bit.
Do they have to actually have to drop in the hole, right? Or no? Nope, never mind. I'm completely lost. I'm trying to keep up with them, but that's how little I've played this campaign.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's a lot popular in South American Cups. It comes up quite frequently. Again, we saw it for both map ban phases of Copa Peru Grand Finale, this and the bracket reset. You can see, I mean, I just completely talked through the first drawbridge because it really is the second one that is everything here. Dynasty is sitting here with the quad. This is something that they did on Chapter 2, where we were kind of like, they're waiting a really long time for this hit. They're waiting an extra long time for this one, hinging everything on this quad.
Yeah, they're just gonna wait for the second one. You're right. I thought they might have went in between there, but there's no time to be ready for the next one, so it's one or the other.
Time.
And being knocked off that, I'm pretty sure is an in cap, and not only is it an in cap, but it's a long way to get back down to get to them. I don't even know if there's an easy way down. I think you could get to the trees below that, maybe.
Oh, good point.
But I don't know, so they're gonna have to wait and kill off all these commons. And man, they're going all the way back down.
They're certainly thinking about it. These ladders do open up. They just sat here in an anti-quad room. They know what Dynasty's working with. They know that they want to clear out all these commons. And then they'll try to make it happen. Obviously, another thing that Hokori has to be very afraid of is hanging. It's a very real possibility that, you know, even if you don't get knocked down in an in-cap, you know, one of you gets in-cap, one of you gets hung, and now all of a sudden you're scrambling entirely because there's no way for, like, the guy is hanging, he doesn't have a pistol. The guy who's all the way on the ground, he's all the way on the ground with a pistol, way below you. But finally, MK, they approach.
The true death toll is about to be here, and that's the toll to get across this. Very advantageous for the infected. One of the more dangerous attacks to deal with. Smoker is also pre-spawned, so now they know where the smoker is. Commons are still coming. That's a lot of commons. And they retreat back inside because they know there's at least 2 dozen trying to climb up the infected ladder. They just can't figure it out.
No need to press the issue. This is what stands between victory and defeat for them. Is this one single drawbridge. And not necessarily defeat, but the chance to be defeated. Beautiful cut. Hunter ready to catch. Charger repositions at this point. And it does look like Dynasty's out of their element at this point. Jockey Smoker still on the back line. Smoker pull immediately cleared. Jockey hops through. Charger finds hanging with the Hunter ready to cover. That coach is down. It's all down to Rochelle, and she gets it. The Susie ski. You said it's not impossible. It's just very difficult, and we just saw that here today. Linick getting a much-needed 6-shot team ski with the Susie to avoid the full wipe on Hokori. Look at the pull though, now he's hanging! But they kill the Smoker MK. Absolute absurdity.
Boomer!
And Boomer, I don't know how long they're going to be able to delay this. They're going to try to hit again. And remember, Hokori struggles here. Dynasty has to do it too. It goes both ways.
Yes, yes.
Wait, what?
You heard? Just get me.
Interesting. I'm telling you, Hokori just knows these things.
I don't know if the spit's gonna make it. No, Spitter has to back off. Oh, they're gonna go quick.
Spit.
Nicely done. More damage, but I don't think they're gonna be able to set up again on top of the It's gonna be close.
See,
They
it'll
got
be
the
close.
smoker though. They got the
Charger's
smoker.
ready. Smoker's ready. They're trying to beat the clock. Charge comes out. It's a wall charge. MK. We got the smoker here still. And that will be. Oh my god.
Smoker took the jockey's jock. They had it again, and it got cucked there by the smoker. That's unfortunate. But Hokori will push on. They've lost almost all of the bonus though, because they also haven't dealt with tank yet, mind you. So they still have a tank to deal with. So there's going to be a lot of bleed coming out before this tank commits. Hunter's going to go in real quickly, misses his target. The Spitter had faith, and the Hunter eventually lands. And the Charger keeps Zyko in, and he goes down. And that is a black and white Zyko. And now the tank can go for a kill on his commit. That's his target. No ifs, ands, or maybes. If I'm the tank, I'm going straight for Zyko.
They will get an additional couple of hundred distance points before the tank comes in, though. We do have another set of pills that can be passed to Zyko as well. They're passed over to Wrist Burner. Nice movement by Nick. Great positioning. He's able to clear Ellis as well.
Ammo.
Here it is now, fourth tank of this tournament match for Dynasty into the hands of Learning. And man, does he have a job to pull off here. He needs to wipe out Hokori. Remember, the map distance is 700, so if they do manage to get the wipe here, it'll be 996 points away from tying the game. I might be off by 1 or 2 there, but it's close to it. And Learning, no bleeding let happen. I don't agree with this. He should have definitely let the bleed happen, and he is in. Smoker gets the early pull, he doesn't get nothing. He is missing. He's going for Shockwave. He's almost dead. Charger misses. And the tank gets nothing. It's a no-hitter coming out from Learning. And they ace the tank. And no, they are standing up for your team as their bonus is 404. That's what they're trying to walk into. But wow, what a tank take by Hokori. Lights out dominant.
That's what I was kind of talking about, was this tank is difficult, but Learning, you're right. I mean, I'm trying to figure out what the reasoning is behind just full sending like that without waiting for any bleed out when they have no pills and they got 2 players pretty close to slow. I would assume it was because he felt like some of the survivors were kind of lollygagging and hadn't made it to their desired spot yet, so he felt like hitting now is better than waiting and letting them bleed out. That's the only thing that I can figure out, unless Learning was just tilted as hell and was like, just get this City 17 BS over with immediately. Maybe that's where his head was at. Look at the smoke attempt. Charge will be good. Jockey is good. Dynasty continues to pump the damage out. It's just such a shame that they aren't doing as competitive points-wise. Otherwise, this would be... and also, it would be a lot better if they didn't get a no-hitter tank as well while we're at it.
Yeah, all the damage on the board is from the special infected. No tank damage. I mean, still very impressive amount of damage, though. Spin block comes out, spreads a little bit, splits survivors 3 and 1, but no one takes advantage of Shockwave up ahead. Here they go in. Charger gets nothing. Hunter goes for Shockwave, gets it. Be a little bit of damage. Cleaned up relatively quick. 320 remains, and they're in the safe room.
Well,
maybe
some of them are.
they're not letting Zyko in. Eventually, they let him in. Fun round fact: 61.
Dang! They get bonus.
3,880 now.
Wow.
So that means, what are they gonna need if they do 700 more with just distance? 2946.
Ooh.
So that is what, 854?
Yeah, they're gonna need like at least 50% of the bonus. Probably more like
954, right? 954
of the bonus.
Yeah, 954 is the number.
It's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah, I'm shocked that they were able to walk in there with bonus. We had players with crazy amounts of green HP. And it's just a heartbreaker for Dynasty because that drawbridge is one of those areas where yeah, there's a high potential for it to be havoc, as we just saw. But if you can shut down that charge, and let's say one of your players get hanged, let's say two of them get hanged. Well, they're not taking damage, right? I mean, they're taken out of the equation, but they're just chilling there. So if you can mop up the rest of the hit, you can make this not very fruitful. And like we saw with the tank, that tank is not great either. So Dynasty does have the potential for large amounts of points, but they just haven't given themselves enough room, in my opinion. We'll see if that's the case, as there is a beautiful first hit. Nick has to run through the spit to clear his buddy, and how is that, MK? That was a nice little 12%er to start us off. Is that the last nail in the coffin here?
I don't know. They needed to walk out. I think that the magic number was 62.3% bonus what's needed for them to mount the comeback on this chapter. And losing 13% or 12.5% right from the first hit is not a good beginning for them. So all of it is probably going to be decided when they get to the top of this choke point, going across this this bridge that has to come down. This troll bridge, I guess we should say.
The troll bridge!
Yeah,
I love it.
The troll bridge. But they're going to go with the hit here. They send the hunter. The hunter misses. The jockey does
Whoa!
not. The charger misses. Oh, the hunter comes back and lands.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It looks like Dynasty is kind of just throwing this here a little bit. I wonder if they think that, hey, it's already too... Wait, what? Okay, I thought they were already thinking it's already too much. Let's just get this over with and go next, maybe. So they're just walking into hits, no baiting.
Yeah, yeah, the jockey with the spit making it so that they can't catch him. That was a nasty, to say the least. I mean, Dynasty is living up to their name. They're dying and they're doing it in a nasty fashion. So that much is true. Hunter gets a scratch.
It's really hard to follow them in here.
Right.
The camera angles.
And we got Shockwave just now, sending the boom. He doesn't find anything. The thing is, though, they have to press the button, right? And they have to bring down the drawbridge. There's going to be a ton of comments. So they did have time to waste. But I wonder if Dynasty can do something cheeky like this, YOLOing it. Ellis wants it. What are we doing? Learning. I think learning is over it, MK. I'm going to be honest. I think learning is done. Smoker dies. Maybe this was all part of the bait for learning. Who knows? The stumble. Another player hanging. The spin misses.
That's their savior right there. It was about to be disastrous if that didn't happen. But the charger lands. He does it down Spooky though, but they can't clear. Okay, they do clear Spooky. They'll get all the pickups, but Spooky is gonna have to rejoin with the team and go all the way around. And I wonder if Dynasty is getting ready to throw the flag here. As Spooky gets pounced, they clear it. The boomer lands. And it looks like they have some time to rejoin together. But man, what a comical run here as their bonus drops down to 51.6. So if there is no Chapter 5, Hokori officially goes 1-0 in this grand final. Smoker misses. Jockey lands but gets cleared. Smoker misses. Now they can cross. Smoker lands. Charger lands. Oh, they're all swimming in the spit. Now the Smoker can grab Nick. He doesn't have a cuttable either. Oh, he doesn't have a tongue. Okay. And they suffer even more damage than Hokori did taking that choke point. And it looks like now that this tank will have a much easier time finding his targets because they have 3 survivors slow. About to be 4.
Yep. Yeah. And more importantly, this is dead in the water here for Dynasty. Not even Finale could get them back into the... I mean, would they go? I wonder. No. That would be a crazy finale, and Corey would be like, dude, are you kidding me? But there are 3 tanks. I would like to watch it. If Dynasty wants to put one on for the viewers. But if anything, I feel like it would be Hokori who would be ready to go finale. Dynasty is like, I hate this. This feels horrible. Learning is just rushing. It is what it is.
I bet you almost everything I got that right now, the Dynasty is like, why didn't we not ban this map?
Yeah.
I bet
Yeah.
you they're thinking that right now, but they thought they could get one over on Hokori too. They wanted to play this, but it's like Hokori has a little bit more map knowledge and a great job with their special effects. The pull forward here is pretty impressive too. Jockey can't grab the target though. They do get the clears. Charger waiting at the end. Nice spawn. Oh, he changes his mind. Takes the 2 damage and a punch and dies off.
A lot of teams really they see practicing a campaign like City 17 as a waste of time. The thing is though, Hokori actually uses this to their advantage by being so well versed on so many oddball campaigns. They force Dynasty to have to be the ones to ban it, and if they don't, well, you got a situation like this. 1,000 point victory for Hokori here as Wristburner just rolls them down like a bunch of bowling pins, and he finishes it off as we do go to a bit of a break with Hokori up 1-0. Again, I mentioned this at the start of chapter 3 or 4, but I didn't get to finish my thought. With this being a best of 3, it doesn't matter that Hokori won it by 1,000 points or 1 point. All that matters is that they won it. We will be headed to Parish Overgrowth, and in fact, MK, this was one of the campaigns that they already played pre-bracket reset on the grand finale of Copa Peru.
Yeah.
I would say City 17 was a pretty obvious downgrade for Dynasty. Dice Scraper was so crazy. Like, they almost on chapter 4 brought it back in bombastic fashion. But instead, this week is going to go quite a different way with Hokori getting a dominant first game. Will the underdogs be able to bounce back from such a dominant win from a dominant team? Jockey hopping around, Hunter same side, the skeet is there, beautifully done. Linnet getting 195 damage in 5 shots, with Zyko finishing it off with a 55 damage shotgun shot. And 100% still on the board for Hokori as they go to bring in the tank in the hands of Healy.
There it is. He is indeed up. Number 5 of this grand finals and championship match between Dynasty and Hokori. And oh, what a charger landing. And the Hunter lands too now. Look at that. And a 2-boom. Wow, I'm surprised it wasn't more damage than that.
Right?
Yeah, it was just beautifully cleaned up. Thought that Hunter was a damage pounce, but apparently it was not. Wait, tank? Tank, hello?
Healy.
Alright, I was
He's
about
good.
to say. We need to pause the game real quick there if your tank's not moving.
Right. Okay, they get a 2-fer. Boom, unfortunately stumbling the SIs. Tank Rock, unfortunately, not clearing the gap.
I have to go AI now. He needs to go.
Yeah. Okay. Smack is good thanks to an early smoke. Finally getting his corner with 2,500 HP left. The hit is ready. Hunter and a Charger still there to go. Hunter's still hopping around. And they actually played this very well, but the Charger finds the tank instead of the survivors. Nick goes up for a golf smack in the face of the tank while he's throwing a rock, and he finishes off the tank. I mean, which side is the SIs and which side is the survivors? Zyko just went SI mode. Freaky stuff happening. It's definitely not the cleanest survivor side in the world out of Hokori so far, but it's definitely some crowd pleasing going on.
And they also sacrificed an additional 5% of the DB to give Zyko more health. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but they yielded on the 50% bonus now because of that. Spawn's coming up. Jockey rockets in. Hunter finds Linux. The spit follows up. Not a good death order for Spit hitting the inside of the house, but they will follow up with a quad out in the open. And just 3% comes from that, so Hokori looking pretty good on attacks other than the tank right now, as they lose almost half their bonus too.
Guns here.
Healy tank?
That was I mean, they let that tank drop really low before they finally brought in the SIs, and it was the best decision. If that charger had landed, that might have just been the round in its entirety. Smoker into the jockey with the charger now landing off by the side. This doesn't really feel like the same Hokori to me.
Reload.
I mean, like, don't get me wrong. It's not like they're just getting, like we said, a lot of their takes have been good. Outside of the really bad ones, but that was a massive hit that they ate.
Yeah, it was. I mean, they got survivors slow right now. They have pills for them, but I don't know if they're going to eat them right now. They're going to get a pull in the back. All of the other SI support is nowhere even close to assist. There comes a hunter. Oh, he does find a target for 1 damage, and they're going to go for a either charge spit or a quad sack. Oh, see what they tried to do there?
Reload.
I like that. I don't know if Hokori paid attention to that. If they weren't paying attention, the spitter jumped in the water on the opposite side of the map and made no sound. So they might not even realize there's a quad incoming unless they have the captions up where it said spitter death.
Right.
That's the only way they'll know now. So let's see. Do they know the quad's incoming, or they think it's going to be a tri-cap with spit? Look at the hunter coming down from the below. Here he comes. Hunter finds the target. So does the jockey. Oh, he doesn't go for the death jock. Or the death charge. He tries to go for his own target, and they're able to clean it up.
Another hit diffused. I had my complaints. I had my criticisms of Hokori's Chapter 1, but they do get the job done. At the end of the day, 850 points. Not a bad start. You know, a third of the bonus. Pretty middle of the road. Left a little to be desired, but it was kind of just, you know, isolated hits that were really effective. As a whole, it felt like Dynasty just got shut down.
Charger might be able to get something here. Oh, he missed it. He was too close. He tried. But if I'm being perfectly honest here now, I think due to the fact of how well this tank went, Core did a great job walking in with 848 health right now.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
It's got to be a little disheartening to Dynasty, but they can easily put up about 50 to 60% bonus to take about a 250, 300 point lead after this for sure. They just have to perform on their survivor side. That's all.
Right. That's the question. The opportunity is definitely there for Dynasty. This isn't the most challenging chapter. This isn't the most challenging tank. I mean, you've got serious threat. Say, you know, that tank around the house. You got the card that they hit in, the cop car as well that can be pivoted to. Lots of good spawns. With this tank right here, it's like the tank just has to walk over by the side. And the SI's, their only option is rocket spawns, or, you know, if you're a smoker, just pulling from that area. There's not really much guesswork for the survivors. Like, it's pretty straightforward. What's going to happen? We'll see if Dynasty can use that information, that knowledge to their advantage. Get a little bit of a better tank than Hokori was able to find. Hunter will find it with the Hunt Spit as well, though. Definitely get a better hit. Can't beat 100%. Is what Hokori was able to do, but still quite close for Dynasty. 98.6 after the first hit.
Yeah, I think it was a pretty good job of the Infected teaming up to make sure they got the pound spit. Of course, it's not a credible value, but they do just land it, which has got to be feeling good for Hokori. Everybody's still pulling things off that they need to. Some common slaps going out here on Ellis. Actually, Ellis lost a couple. Let's see. Yeah, he's down to 86, so he took a couple common slaps there, and a lot more than I expected. Plus, he did. Oh, look at this. Charger miss. Not much comes of it. 5% gone. They might push this tank a little bit. Wow, look at this aggression. They don't get much on to Wrist Burner, but almost 300. As they retreat back to safety. Or I don't know if you call it safety, but it's just a safer area. Survivors could actually...
Look at the tank!
Survivors could rush him now.
Okay, yeah.
They're
I
thinking
was
about
wondering
it.
what he was planning to do there, but yeah, he does kind of cool out here.
Shoot this thing off my back!
Oh my
Rocket Sam.
goodness.
Oh, with the rock!
Wow.
I'm having Psycho flashbacks.
Wrist burner looking to melt this down. Nope, the smoker missed, the rock missed. They got to get under the underpass to stay safe from these rocks, from the wrath of wrist. Oh, he's in, and he gets an instant punch. Nobody has shot him. This is terrible start for Dynasty. They're backing up. He's down to 4,500 HP. They're on the safe room car. They're blasting him now down to 1,800 HP. Oh, he missed. Oh, he missed again. The tank is dead. Oh my goodness, wrist burner unfortunately came up 2 short arm punches in close range, and Dynasty, what looks like was going to be disastrous, they turn it around and are up on Hokori by about 26% post tank right now.
I hate to say this about wrist burner because obviously he's an incredibly accomplished player, but I did feel like he could have taken a play out of Hokori's playbook there with the instant decommit. It feels like they're always looking for decommit opportunities. That smack was really unlucky for Wristburner. You saw, like, he hit Healy into another area code. And at that point, it's like, maybe I just did after that. He chose not to. He chose to commit to it. Look at this boom stumble in the spit, though. Learning has nowhere to go but through. And if he was tilted from City 17, that hit is not going to help him at all whatsoever. Hits him for about 40 HP. I think he was just about full HP because that tank did not do much. But Hokori is trying to get the job done now. They're doing an all right job so far.
Yeah, that is great follow-up. Due to what they had, and they're just rushing now. Now they're just getting cocky, and the spitter finds a target. Yep. 2 of them are swimming in the spit. They double down on damage, another 10%, and now their lead is starting to crumble here with just pushing into choke points, and they're not quite ready. And look at this, they have a survivor in the back. Healy's a little separated. They finally regroup. Spawn timers are almost coming up already, and they haven't really gone anywhere.
Which is funny because they got caught rushing right before that. Like, what was the rush there? You know Hokori's going to have plenty of time to get their spawns back up before you get into the house when they hit you so early. Right after you drop down from the choke, Hokori was there to swoop in. So they definitely have their hits up ready by the time you clear commons through that open field and make it to the house. But they get caught off guard by it. Now, they are able to recover somewhat. They're still threatening honestly, a decent win on Chapter 1. 300 points here. But there is the quad waiting for them. Hokori ready to pounce. I'm actually surprised that we don't have the smoker like in the trees area. Let's see what they've got in store here. Smoke pool is good. The hunt, well, really the hunt is good. Charger going all in for that lineup, MK, and he comes up empty-handed big time. They drop about, what, 30, 40 bonus, but they are walking in with the win.
Yeah, they're going to go up. What is it, about 300? Just shy of 300 if nothing else comes of it. I don't know if it's worth learning, not popping the pills for the 25 points. We'll see if they take 25 more points of damage. No, they got the spawns blocked, and they are in. Well done by Dynasty, taking their first lead of this tournament match in the second game, 11-20 to 8-48.
What this Chapter 1 of Detour had really highlighted for me is you can have this isn't, you know, just 100% of the time kind of deal, but I found it really interesting how it looked like Hokori outside of the tank, I mean, they were so much more effective at laying on that pressure, but Dynasty still get a big lead by virtue of not tossing the tank like Hokori did. I say that, but we have to remember, MK, Hokori did have a couple blunders of their own outside the tank on that survivor side. That random hit in between the choke point and the house immediately springs to mind. And this chapter, if I remember correctly, was actually pretty massive for Dynasty last time we saw them play it. So we'll see if this can be favorable for them once again. If I remember correctly, they had like a really bad tank, and they just had an amazing event area. So we'll pay attention to that. Jockey gets bullied big time. Charge is avoided. MK, what a first hit for Dynasty.
Yeah, shut down. But they do get a couple scratches and some friendly fire from what I've seen, right? There's 6 damage on the board, and there's more than 6 on there right now, so friendly fire combo damage impacting the bonus just a little bit. But Hokori, I mean not Hokori, Dynsty, unfazed, pushes, jumps over the fence, coming up on 40% map progression before the second set of spawns can even spawn in. So great momentum coming here from Dynsty, and this will be the last hit before tank. They're going to send the tri-cap with spit in. Jockey jumped around, misses Spooky. Charger gets a double charge, and it lands. The spit does not, and a slam. Okay, Dynsty spreading their survivors a little thin here, and they get caught with their pants falling down a little bit, but they pull them back up, trying to get this tank up, and they might be able to hit again.
Dude, I feel like we cannot be eating those hits like that. Like, that is one of those softball hits. And Corey finds a way to orchestrate it really well. I mean, I say they orchestrate it. Really, the Chargers just got a nasty double charge. And that was kind of all they needed to get done with that one. In comes the hit. This is Jockey just rolls it in. Of course, that was Zyko, who is now the tank. And MK, we've got some danger through here with these cars as the survivors try to retreat.
Bro, I would have ate that car. He hit me when I wasn't even paying attention. Even when I'm spectating, I'm eating hittables now. It doesn't stop, man. It's coming from everywhere. Uh-oh, this hatchback. This could be big. Rochelle is common locked. Why are they not running back? Oh, this is going to be disastrous. Yep, and that's going to be the in cap. I don't know what they're doing. Rochelle gets punched forward.
Smoker?
He's going to be able to... No, he's not. Oh, he gets cleared. He gets the pills off, but he gets in capped. Oh, no. This is disastrous for Dynsty. Zyko running through the trees. He's down to 4,000 HP. Charger spawns up in the bush. There's going to be a car flying through. He can't get it. It's stuck in the tree. They're really pushing the... Oh, my goodness. And they land a 2-cap, but the tank takes one of the corners. Oh, and he gets a double punch. Spooky is meleeing the tank from the back. He has too much HP.
Wow.
And this is going to be disastrous for Dynsty. I don't know what happened to Learning, but he was not able to get back. And Spooky's going to try picking up because he has to, and he doesn't do it. And this is going to be another wipe for sure. I don't know how they survived this, as Learning is dead. The pickup happens, and he gets a double punch.
Dude.
Hunter comes in, and he kills the Hunter, but that's going to be the wipe. And Dynsty falls, only 270 points. And now Hokori can put this out of reach easily now. I don't know what that was from Rochelle, though.
Sometimes it's a team effort. I feel like they had ample amounts of time to be like, hey, Ro needs our help here, folks. Like, she's boomed, there's comments around her. And I've seen cars connect before in that area. I've seen, some stuff. But I don't think I've ever seen a tank fight out there where the whole team is just like, well, this is our only option here. And what an option it was. Hokori took full advantage of that. The Smoker giving us a bit of comedic relief. He wasn't needed at all. The boom slowed him down perfectly. Let's see if Hokori is able to lock it down, though, because this tank is it's kind of all over the place. Like, if we were to take statistics from this tank area, I think the statistics would be all over the place as far as getting no hitters versus getting value. Usually not no hitters, but sometimes we see very much a lack of damage through here. And if Dynsty isn't able to find the damage, I mean, we might be seeing a quick 2-0 here this evening.
Yeah, this is going to set the tone right here. Although Corey doesn't even any bonus. They just need to survive this tank, and they're taking the lead. So they have a lot of chips on the table right now to be taken because there's no more cards to be dealt for Dynsty. It's only a Corey piling it on to see what they could do. The Hunter pouncing around, blasted out of the sky. None of the SI are ready. And I don't know if that Dynsty is too tilted because right now their SI play is very sloppy.
Yeah, I was going to mention this. I felt like Learning in specific is not really living up to the expectations. This was such a power player for the Dynsty roster when they moved away from being Babylonia.
But right now, I mean, you can see it's kind of a circus. The jockey does land, but no big deal for Hokori at all. And speak of the devil, we have learning himself as a tank. I obviously I'm not really a huge Spanish speaker. I don't watch learning streams. I don't know that much about him. But I usually, when I see him in the server playing, his playstyle does not often read to me as tilted. So I'm really hoping that he does find a way to bounce back from this, as well as Dynasty in general. This could be a huge catalyst for them if they are able to find a wipe. And if you think back to the start of Chapter 2, I actually said this. I said the last time that Copa Peru, they did Detour ahead, this was a really dire position for Dynasty, and they were able to claw their way out of this Chapter 2. Let's see if they can do it again.
Will find a target now, but it's going to be a while till Learning gets over there. He's going to just bring his toys into play to kind of keep the survivors honest so they stay inside the house or stay inside the gas station, because if you don't have any hittables there, they will just jump out, and it's way more advantageous out in the open than it would be for the tank to get his own corner on the inside. So top car coming over. He is climbing up, and I think he just punches this in front and then gets on top of the roof now.
Absolutely.
All right, last one was mine. Why don't you take this away when he goes in? See if he gets as crazy on this side as it did the other.
Unlikely. We'll definitely see if that's the case. It's already down 2K, 3K. Gets his first smackdown 4K, and manages to keep hitting on Coach. Charge comes in, it misses. Huge moment. So close to a triple cap. Actually very close. But in the end, the only thing that actually makes a connection is the smoker. It can be a game of milliseconds. It can be a game of centimeters as well. Left 4 Dead 2 certainly can be, and it felt like it was for that tank fight. Corey avoid damnation, and not just that, but they are on the other side feeling stronger than ever with 845 bonus left to their name. And if they can get, 50% of this into the safe room, they're looking very, very favored against Dynasty.
And the Charger spawns, and not even close. Bitter and Boomer would die up on the end. They're going to go for a quad during the event, and they have to land it. Now, if they can land this quad during the event, it'll be about even up.
It's a classic combo. This event and the quad is a classic combo. We've seen if it did land, this certainly wouldn't be the first time that you or I have seen it land through this area. Even if a tri-cap lands with all the commons, you can get some separation, say on a jockey, something like that. There's still so much potential here, but Dynasty, they got their backs against the wall, to say the least.
Oh, we're trying to pick that hunter up in the sky so badly. It's way too early to spring it now. Way too early. Comet flying into the heavens. Zyko's holding the inside spawn, so I don't think they go until the last person makes the turn around the corner. And there is no way they could bait timer this because it's already an endless horde, so...
Yes, exactly.
And they have bleeding, so the SI could just wait this out as long as possible as well.
Right.
There's no pain in that, but it looks like this is going to be springing momentarily. The hunter's still pouncing around with full HP. Here it comes. The jockey misses his. Oh, it's a oh, not quite a tri-cap. Oh, good shutdown from Hokori. 783 bonus. And only 1 or 2 hits left from Dynasty, and Hokori is about to pull away like they did last campaign by a couple 100-point delta, unless something catastrophe happens on them in this next 2 shots.
That was a classic situation where I wasn't watching first-person cam, but I just feel like what happened was the smoker was aiming for a different target than what he ended up with. I felt like it was honestly that simple. Very frustrating moment for the smoker because you feel like you're aiming at somebody and it grabs someone else. It comes to charge. It misses the follow-up. MK, they could potentially rush this and not even press the button. With this time that Rochelle has spent on it, though, I do think that they'll just wait. I'm looking at the health totals. I'm like, they could just YOLO it. But honestly, MK, why would they? They've got such a clear path to being in the lead after this chapter by a couple hundred points, and they are playing fundamentals down pat. No reason to push the issue and walk into some avoidable damage.
Man said there was nothing to worry
I wonder if
about.
that car is hittable on top of the body shop sign. I'm just saying. I need to know for a friend. Ooh, Boomer tries to be cheeky.
Tried it.
They thought they had the distraction. They don't even have a smoker here. This is difficult. They're not going to be able to, or a spitter, I mean.
Ooh. Charge.
Charge missed. It is so unfortunate. I believe the Charger should have let the Hunter cover and then wait, maybe. I mean, they'll get some of the bonus down now, but they're still going to go up 700 points and change. At 2,060 to 1,390. Still reasonable for Dynasty, but man, they have to play these next two chapters lights out and all. They're running out of time.
Definitely. They are down about, what, 670, I believe. Just, again, not the position you want to be in against Hokori. Definitely not the position you want to be in against Hokori when you're already down 0-1. And certainly not the position you'd like to be against Hokori when you're down 0-1 after having lost last week and giving them the bracket reset. Dynasty just feels like, oh my goodness, we have to make this work. And MK, 82% of the chapter is pretty much guaranteed for Hokori to be locking in points-wise. Not the tank that Dynasty was hoping for.
Ooh, wow. That's going to be down in the sewers, so you're right. That's going to give Hokori a guaranteed of 500 plus if they don't get quadded or killed before then. And the opening attack is not even favorable for this fire escape either. They have no smoker or charger. Two ones that you really want for this opening hit. Makes it not much of a threat. Or I guess not as much of a threat. I shouldn't say not a threat, but just not as much. But see what they do. They send two down because it's not that dangerous. Beautiful shutdown. Hokori melts it down. Some free spin damage does come out. Tallying up to about 3% and change. So Dynasty doesn't come with empty pockets. They get a little bit out of it, but being down a couple hundred, and all they need to maximize everything they possibly can.
That is an understatement. Okay, the strafe jump to start the event. While Hokori does choose to sit up here, obviously there is the opportunity for shenanigans on here. Maybe you charge a player down to the lower level or something like that. Quad being sent in unison as Jockey plays a very interesting game, going Secret Agent Jockey on that one. He does find the target, but no one else can help out, and that is going to be the quad shutdown. Hokori pressing forward. Very minor damage as they approach a 2-2 stairwell hit, which, I mean, it could be alright, depending on what the two cappers are.
Not a charger, I'll tell you that. Aki Hunter, they should probably just go really quick on the inside bottom floor, try to see if they can get the Boomer in there for some stumbling. They could even just let the two shotguns go forward and pick on the Uzis in the back too. But it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. They're going to allow... Dynasty keeps choosing to play with the shotgun players compared to Hokori that picks on the Uzis now. There's a little bit different gameplay coming out here from both sides.
Definitely, I picked up on that as well. Hunter does land in the spit, but it's not a fearsome or a gruesome hit, to say the least.
And for those that are wondering, I see a lot of commotion talking about Frag 4 in the past, who was their best player, but it's not about who was their best player, it's about how they elevated each other to playing at their best.
Reloading.
Yes.
So if you want to tell me who their best shotgun player was, if you had Wristburner and Dave / Soul together, they're unstoppable as a team. And then you put Spongy, Dusty, or Peter Griffin in there. Charger does not land, Hunter does land, Spit will come in and land on top of that. And pull back into the Spit. Okay, they get a little bit of good damage. They about double up there. They desperately needed that, but back to what I was saying here, Null. I don't know if there's really one best one to play, but if you want to go raw skill, they're playing center, and you want to watch someone play, DB Dave or Soul probably has a little bit edge over Brian, in my opinion, only for the sheer fact that if you watch their games, they would allow Dave to separate 3 and 1 on purpose to see if they can have all 3 attack him. As the hunter is blasted out of the sky, and I'll let you take it from here, Nog, because I just keep talking about Frank 4.
No, that's sick.
Ammo
Do have a little bit of lore there, of course, as we do have Wristburner in the lobby, still representing Frag 4, even when he is rinking for Hokori. But we do have the boom come out onto 1, no, 2. Charger, Jockey, Spitter. Hokori is taking their time, which feels kind of counterintuitive since they need to press the issue unless they want to deal with all 4 SIs at the ladder area. It does look like that's what they're going to opt for. Jockey, Smoker, Charger, and a Spitter. Nick goes through eventually. Smoke pull, no good. Sidestep. Charger will find a ladder target and pull him through. Beautifully done. As Ellis is in the spit. I think Nick was in the spit for a bit there too. And the damage, or the damage continues to come out. The bonus continues to drop. A decent enough situation for Dynasty. As they go to this tank, and this tank is pretty damn aggressive. It's very oppressive. But the thing is, Hokori is working with a relatively large amount of health still, honestly. I mean, the bonus is like good, right? As far as SI is getting through, but it just feels like Hokori might be able to see the light of day after this tank, which is obviously not what Dynasty wants to hear at all.
Reloading.
No, they need this to be a wipe. I don't know how they're gonna pull it out.
Right.
1 in cap is gonna. If they just get 1 in cap on this tank, we're looking at about 55 to 50% bonus. Charger doesn't get it. He gets a free spit though, and Jock in the spit for a ding or 2. So we can do an in-cap evaluation on as far as how many punches people are going to be. But we already know that Psycho and Shockwave will definitely pop kills. So we're going to look like it's going to be 5-5-4 when he commits. And Wristburner might not pop his kills. So I think the tank's target here and all is Coach. 3 punches.
Spooky's got his work cut out for him, that's for sure. But Spooky is another one of those players. Unlike, I mean, I feel like he's been on this roster for a long time at this point, but he's always been kind of a key player for them. He eventually is going to drop down. He's taking about 200 points of chip. We're going to see the slip and slide come out if the tank executes properly.
Run out of time. I mean, now he's got to go.
Trying to, it's not cooperating. And they get free 1,000 as Spooky continues to walk his way through. Finally gets a corner there at 3K, and he leaves it. And he goes to someone else. He's spraying the love around. The Charger will land, but he's already swinging for that target. And this does not look like a recipe for success at all for Spooky, as he does get the corner, but all the SIs are dead. He misses that smack, and down he goes. 1 in cap. Charging Shockwave when Shockwave literally had like 2 HP, and he just sat there smacking him down on the ground the entire tank fight, and Hokori had no reason to bother with it. He's just like, okay, whatever, kill the tank, and then deal with them after. Almost 600 bonus left as they beat the Spitter. Oh, it actually does drop down there.
I gotta make a play on the back too, but I don't think they got it. No, the jockey's coming. Oh wait, he can. The jock. Oh, they got him in the bottom. They can cover. The jockey covers. Oh, this is sick damage. They desperately needed this.
Dude.
And it's still tallying up.
Yeah.
415 remembers 26% bonus down to. They'll get another hit. Great follow-up out there, taking advantage of the separation from a Dynasty. So it's not over yet for them. Oh, look at this. The Survivor separated too. Okay, the Hunter backs off and decides not to 1v1 their front shotgun player. They say, no, we're not going to mess with Wristburner. No, we'll just wait.
Absolutely. Look at the chip onto Healy's. Down below 100 HP. Hokori sniffs him out. They've only got a 2-2, and their Hunter is less than half HP. Talk about a lot of work for learning to have to do as a Charger.
Oh!
Boom.
Got a little too greedy there, Healy. I don't know if this is gonna get anything. No, 399. I don't know if they get one hit. Tough with the solo charger. Boomer's gonna get bullied. And now they should just hold W in. Yeah, charger didn't even go. So, they walk in with 1,096 points. Oh man, and that's gonna leave Dynasty if they want to even this up. What is the distance on this map now? Is it 700? Okay, we got 700, so they need 11, just shy of 1,100 to tie this. And the total amount of points that you can get is only 1,540, I believe.
Yeah, I think a more realistic amount for them would be 700, 800. Get around about half of the bonus in there, and then they'll be trailing by somewhere between like 300, 400 points. We'll see if that's in the cards for Dynasty. It just hasn't felt like the cleanest play out of them. But, you know, it's never too late until you're just out of points. It does make it a hell of a lot more difficult for them, but it's still possible as they shut down the hit, dealing with the boom very carefully to minimize the spit damage. They do still get some of that damage through, don't get me wrong. 4%er will be the hit for Hokori, and they still scrap together just a bit.
Yep, as they take the high ground, spawns are coming up. They have a charge. They got to be careful for the death charge here. Not an easy thing to land, but it is possible. And right now they're going to slow down, clear out these commons. They're going to strafe jump and start the event. And everybody should jump on an ace unit and be patient. Try to play it as safe as possible. Smoker, alley-oop, going to get stuck. The charger will land. No win cap though. And quick clear.
Wow.
Almost no damage comes of that.
What?
Wow.
Yeah, coach just gets up. He's like, yep, I'm completely fine. My back is not broken. I am completely fine.
And that's why you charge the other way and not this way.
Right. Good point.
Watch out!
People wonder if this is the strongest Hokori team in history. Shock, Wristburner being on there definitely makes it much, definitely an improvement. But not by much because they've been playing so long. Hunter spit in the top. Jockey comes in, misses. Oh, eventually finds the target. And Learning goes for a ride. They got to run.
I'm just looking at Learning's health again. I know I already mentioned it, but I mean, the man has been tilted. It's not working out for him in this chapter so far, as well as it is working out for the rest of his team. And the question is he going to quote unquote crash out in these sewers? Or will he be able to keep it together? Will this be a recovery for him? He's got to get back in the saddle. And what better way than to have a clean sewers plus tank plus pipeline to get back into this match against Hokori when they need it the most. Backs against the wall, 0-1. Hit is in. What a hunter spawn. Nabbing row. Fortunately for Dynasty, there was no spit ready to go. Smoker will drop in for a drive-by scratch, and fortunately for Learning, he'll be able to scoop up some pills before they go into the sewer.
Man, look at how fast they are blitzing these ladder choke points. They want no part of those ladder chokes. They're in the sewer, pushing quickly, and it looks like they're only going to take one. Can they get up top here and take this choke point? No, they slowed. Oh, wait a minute. Rochelle, too greedy, eats the charge on Nick, though. Rochelle went back down. Nick eats it, and the jockey, and the... What a clear. That was, all considering the circumstances, they take a lot of damage, but what a clear on the ladder from one of the survivors.
I don't know how you viewed that take. I kind of felt like if Dynasty held W the entire way through, I felt like they got a little bit of hesitation there at the end, which kind of messed everything up for Rose. She started to doubt herself as well, and it ended up being a little bit messy there at the tail end. They still avoid with pretty minimal damage compared to what is possible through that area. But again, they've got to keep it locked in here. They've got to get a lot of these points through, which means surviving the tank without taking much damage from him. Because MK, if Learning and Healy get in cap during this tank, it's gonna be not great points wise for Dynasty.
Yeah, actually, if you want to do this mathematically, the one who can get in cap without a consequence actually would probably be Healy, because look at it, it's 50%. Permanent, 50% temp. So that means he's going to lose 12 health and 12 temporary health every hit. So in theory, if the tank focused him and in-capped him, they would only lose about 10% of the damage bonus and his health bonus. So I think the proper play would be to go for learning. Because learning's going to pop pills again. But if Healy pops pills again, then the percentage leans in favor for the temporary health. So more of the regular health is going to go down instead of the temporary health there. So it's situational.
Tricky.
Yeah, but I know that learning's going to pop pills, and probably so is Healy, but they still can take the lead here. But they can't take anything, no. And he is coming down. No quick slide for Shockwave. He hits the bottom at 5k. Still lighting him up. 3,500 on pawn entry. Gets his first punch. Second punch. Charger comes in. 2 cap lands. Gets cleared up. It's going to be a 1 in cap tank. That is damage bonus. He did pop the pills, no, and exactly what nice rock coming around there, but I think he's...
Oh.
Wow, he got another hit.
That?
Okay.
Oh, baby, can't
It's not
you
good,
down
MK.
there?
They gave him some free
It's not
damage.
good.
This is some
It's really not good.
404 remains.
404.
And because he popped the pills when he got cornered, no, that is why the damage bonus went down like it did. He should have not popped the pill. He should have just took the in cap. And literally right now, they would have 45%, or not 45%, but about 50% bonus.
This is an L on the chapter, pretty much, and it could be an L overall as well. I mean, we were talking about, what if they get 700? What if they get 800? Well, what if they get 200? What if they get, 300 after this pipeline hit? There are some pretty worrisome outcomes here. Dynasty continues to bleed out. They continue to get boomed on as well. As the boom just keeps going. They have nothing that they can do but clear commons. Smoker, Hunter, 2-2, ready to go. They shoot out the spit as it wraps around the pipeline. This buys time for the boom to get back. 2, 1. Now he's got his boom back. He gets 1. I'm surprised he didn't get all 4 with that. He walks in, he blows up. Smoker will eventually get cleared, but look at the bonus MK. It is disastrous, to say the least, for Dynasty.
Yeah, so disastrous that they're going to go down a couple of more 100 points, it would seem. And with the time a-ticking and the hourglass, looks like it's about to exhaust all the sand in it for the opportunity for Dynasty to come back. So we'll have to see what happens with the last hit. They have 2 survivors, 1 HP, and they really can't sacrifice that 10% damage bonus either, because that's the penalty for downing them. They'll go down to 10% DB. They gotta try to make it work, and having a jockey in there makes it even more difficult as they proxy boom onto one of those survivors, and now it's gonna be clear the commons, get another capper, and now Dynasty is in danger of getting wiped now because they desperately need these 200 bonus. Here it goes. There goes 1 in cap. Jockey misses. Charger misses.
Okay.
And somehow they only suffer 1 in cap from that, and they'll still walk in with about 15. Wait a minute. Smoker can stop this. Here he comes. Oh, the quick pull. Actually, the quick pull allowed him to get the pickup while he was being pulled. So they make safe room. But they're down about 900 now with 1 map left. I don't know. That might be it.
It is very much possible that is it. But again, I don't know if it's just human psychology or what, but something about being down like this, where it's still doable, it's unlikely, you're kind of like, it's probably, and then all of a sudden they do it. So I'm not quite counting Dynasty out yet, but I just feel like the mentality has been way better for Hokori.
Player switch.
Dynasty, yeah, we do have the random player switch on the Yaft.
He wants to come in and participate at the grand finals. Puts a little, he's like, I was in there, guys. I was in there. I did it.
Well, we did see Shockwave. I mean, he had 2 5+ minute pauses. So I think he's like, you know what? I'm out.
keeps having issues during the match itself when the round is in play. Just going to take the safety and let Yaft go ahead and fill in for him.
As we wait for Yaf to join the team, we have Tank at 48%, so this is going to be right around the event area. I do believe they have to hold out before they fight Tank, which changes everything for the Survivor team and the Infected. Which usually guarantees about 5 or 6 SI attacks before Tank will spawn. Don't know. It's going to be close now. I don't remember exactly where it's at. Some of the custom map Tank spawnages elude me of where they exactly are yet. Even some of the normal maps elude me. What am I talking about?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because sometimes it could be either way. It really all depends on how the survivors walk on the map. Because a lot of people are not realizing how the progression works. There's actually little squares all over the map that has a escape route marked on it. So only when you step on that tile will the map progress, or you walk past that tile at an angle where you progress on the map as well, which is a little confusing to say, but that's pretty much how scoring works. As Yaft leaves.
Yeah, no, Yaft, they can't get their fourth player to stay in there. Well, we've got, I believe, 700 distance points on this one. We've got a tank halfway through. So it's, obviously, we're aiming for best case scenario for Dynasty, which is that they get the wipe against Hokori. It's pretty necessary that they do that. That will leave Hokori with about 350 points for the chapter. We'll leave them with a scoreline of around 3,500. And at that point, Dynasty will need to get the full 700. That'll put them at around 3,000. And they need somewhere around 500, 550 for the bonus.
That's possible. That is absolutely possible.
That is definitely possible.
But whoever their tank is, their 8th tank of the game, and what could be the last one, they really didn't make this work. Like, big time. They really need to try everything they can, get every hittable in play. If there's ever a time when you do want to focus a hittable to get a win or a no-hitter, this is probably it. It's frowned upon all the time, but where you focus hittables too much. But in this scenario now, I think it's acceptable.
I was thinking the exact same thing. Where the hittable, especially if Hokori kind of brings it back to that trailer park area, the car possibly plural they're so important. The SI spawns are pretty bad. And also, yeah, they get 5 or 6 SI hits, but those SI hits are also not very favorable. So if they've ever needed hittables to work out, this tank fight would probably be it. And I can't quite see who it's going to be. Chad, who is one of those rocks for the Dynasty roster. Not ideal timing for Riskburner, but he's here for this grand finale. He wants to help Hokori clinch this victory. Coming from the loser's bracket, getting the bracket reset at 2-1. That could have been a 2-0 in favor of Dynasty, honestly. It was looking very possible in that Dice Scraper finale, which is strange to say because they were down quite a bit. But they all 4 boarded the escape helicopter. I mean, how often can you say that on Dice Scraper Redux? But they made it happen. So if they can make it happen there, this should comparatively be quite a bit easier, honestly. But they need to make the SI hits work. Quad, locked and loaded for Dynasty.
They're all up. Here it comes. They're trying to mantle the smoker lands. The hunter lands. The jockey lands. It's a rolling tri-cap. But the charger not able to find the target. Almost a big finish there from Dynasty, but it's just going to be big damage, which is still good. They just need the wipe at the tank by minimum now. So it's not a game over there. It's really good to soften him up like that, though.
Reload.
And as we see Riskburner standing strong with 100 HP, he just barely sidestepped the charge and he said, "Ole."
Continues on, gets the clears as well. Boom is going to get into the way. Charger, Hunter, and a Spitter ready to go, but this kind of makes things awkward for Dynasty. Hokori is going to be able to walk forward and start the event, but on the run back, the question is, will they be able to beat this SIs on the run back?
Follow the tracks,
And it's looking kind of unlikely.
Can they spawn the tank before event?
Ooh, good point.
No, they can't. They didn't try. They didn't seem too
They didn't
interested.
try. Yeah.
Jockey, jockey! We got a charger.
Oh, wow.
Oh!
Woo! Oh,
Get out
my.
of the goo!
I mean, it's still like a pound spit because he runs right through the spit anyway, so he still takes just as much spit damage. And the softening up of the survivors is
Going with the shotgun.
common? There's no common.
Right? Hello?
I'm a reload.
They eventually make their way through. I think that maybe they took a nap during the pauses. They're like, hold on. Smoke pool, no good. Couple comments now with the one boom. Charge just get the hop over the guardrail, and he's kind of cooling it. The jockey is the charge with the smoker pulling the entire time. They are really getting eaten alive right now during this chapter 4. This is not typical for a survivor side that is supposed to be this locked in as Hokori has been.
Yeah, they're getting a little sloppy. I think they know that the finish line is ahead. They just got to stay on course. Hunter finds his target. A little separated there, but the Spitter wasn't quite on point. Jockey is not going to find Psycho, and they'll shut down that spawn. They do dip the bonus down below 70% though, but we already do know when this tank commits that Linux, Psycho, and Yaft will all be popping their pills. No questions. Yaft might even do it early, all depending. And yes, he does.
I'm reloading.
That means he's probably going to eat wrist burners pills when the tank commits too.
Reloading.
2/3 of the bonus being, or a third of the bonus being taken pre-tank was definitely not what I am pictured this round going for Hokori, or at how I am pictured it. But we do have the Hunter, Charger, Smoker, and the Spit ready for another powerful follow-up hit. Ideal place to do it too. Smoker gets lasered. Charger is still getting sidestepped by Nick. Well done. Zyko. Spitter will get popped. Hunter in tow. They do shut that one down with minimal damage taken. Just under 1,000 bonus. And something we talked about, yeah, this tank can be very all or nothing. So Dynasty, obviously the chance is there much more for them to land the all and avoid the nothing, but they can't afford nothing at this point. They cannot. It has to be everything.
I agree. So he's gonna have to bring all the toys. We lose one of the co-captors, but not for us. And look at this, the aggressiveness on the Boom Survivor wanting to get the chip, but they tell him to back off. It's like, back off, Linux. Let's not be too aggressive. We have everything where we need it. Let's not give them anything. As the hatchback goes right over where he was sitting, ironically enough. Charger gets a fist, but that's just to get a Smoker in tow. And that'll be the cappers that they need. And now they just need to execute. And now this is probably the tournament match right here for Dynasty. They need to kill them here. I believe if they survive, even if they need to kill at least one for this to be a possibility. Minimum. One death. Minimum one death. So with that being said, they have the spawns that they want. I think they're just going to stand here and let them bleed. No, they're not. They're going to go in. I think he should just stand there and look at it.
Right.
Right, look at this. He's only losing like 1-3 health. Back up a little bit more. Just keep the view. I like this play. By Dynasty. The bleed's continuing. Look at Zyko. He's down to 64. Alright, now this is all you. Take it away.
My goodness. Like the first car hit, good setup. Hits the other one pretty far out. First hit, up and over, no good. Does manage to avoid the Smoker with that car. We got one car bumped up against the tree.
Second one rolls in, can't quite find it, but keeps up the pressure. Smoker not picked. Whoa, she gets inside. Actually, Rochelle avoids it altogether. What positioning there from Linux. Cat takes her down and decommits. It's a Cardaceous break the tongue with the car. I don't know what just happened there. It was probably just a teammate clear. Our Rock comes out. Rock attempted car in that crevice, but look at the spot. It's done.
Thanks.
One in cap, 700 bonus left, and that is not what Dynasty was hoping for. There is, I mean, look, I know we're getting desperate at this point, MK, but I will say we at least have the train track area.
Yeah, with a quad in
We
tow.
do have that. Yeah.
So they softened him up even more. And they will get Zyko as a slow cap now. So Zyko's going to be bleeding very shortly to slow. So that's going to be a benefit for the Charger, I would say. As long as everybody else can win, the Charger is the easy target now. So it's all about positioning on the survivors and the infected to take advantage of it. See if they could do it. Quad incoming. They need to get a death here as well, but they're going to get past the spot where death possibility in a second as soon as Ellis comes from the back. And that is now over. They're going to full send. Hunter comes up. He lands. Charger does not land. And the Hunter was the only one to do anything besides the Charger getting fists. And Hokori's points are now ascending. And their delta is about to approach 1,300 points now. And that means they have about locked this up. I believe they just need to crawl a little bit more. Making safe room with no bonus would probably even lock it up for sure, 100%.
Reload.
Yeah, but the thing is, MK, this obviously not only do they get a 2-2, but also think of how long of a stretch of field this is. I mean, we don't get to another pressuring choke point for like 100 more distance or more. That they just get to walk and walk and walk, and it doesn't matter how slow they walk. It doesn't matter that they're bleeding out. If the SIs try to capitalize on this, it's still going to be extremely challenging unless the survivors just forget how to aim. We got these train cars over here. Again, this is pretty much the only area for spawn, and this is just not an ideal spot for Dynasty. They're going to immediately spawn in, trying to stop Hokori in their tracks at a non-ideal spot. A hit comes in, it's a quad, but it gets locked down. Charge the only thing that will find it, and it won't even get a full smackdown. Still threatening 1,200 total points potentially, but more importantly, they've gotten 100, 200, maybe even closer to 300 points post tank.
Yeah, and all of the permanent HP is being held by Wristburner, being very stingy with it.
Hey, I'm
Holding
reloading.
on to 78 health. So he's doing everything possible to get great value of his HP. Hunter pouncing around, finds the target, Spitter comes in. Not able to reach. And not a good ending there. I think that almost guaranteed. They will get one more quad, though, I think. I think Spitter and Boomer did die off at the end. I could be wrong, though. But if they did, it'll be the final quad try. If not, they're guaranteed safe room. And I think we can say, I'm pretty sure, like 99%, that Hokori is going to take the grand finals.
99%. You know, a lot can happen with that 1%, but regardless, Hokori, I mean, statistics be damned, they just looked the part here. It hasn't been 100% clean, but you know, how can it? They've had some hiccups here and there, but as a whole, playing as a united front, they get another down, but still over 1,000 points for Hokori being threatened. I did not expect any. I'm not gonna lie. I did not expect this bonus. I did not even expect them to make the safe room. But this just really shows that once that tank is out of the way, the threats seriously fall down. Charge will land. Not even a smackdown once again. Down goes Yav, but it looks like they'll lock in some bonus as a treat.
Wristburner just still 73 HP.
Yeah.
Does a very good job on. He's the only survivor with permanent health now. Everybody else is temp. It looks like their jockey is going to try and gets melted. And there is Hokori putting up a 4-chapter score of 4,172 for Detour ahead.
Forcing Dynasty to lock in about 2,000. They need about 1,900. And of course, while that is possible, it is highly, highly, highly unlikely. Of course, we'll still watch it play out, but unfortunately, it doesn't look like we'll get to see Parish Overgrowth. Dynasty putting up a much better fight the previous week. Still showing up to play here today, but especially with City 17, they look caught off guard, to say the least. And the follow-up here on Detour ahead, it just has not gone as smoothly as it did on their game 1 in the previous week. We'll still get the treat of getting to watch this second half of chapter 4, but it does look like that's where our adventure will end.
Yeah, just for those that want to keep track at home, 1194 is the magic number for Dynasty. And as
For
you
bonus?
yeah, that's what they need. And if
Okay.
you see, they have 1540, and Hokori is just going to send in SI and scratch. They have no problem doing that because that'll be enough just to get the win. They do not even need to synchronize. Just a couple scratches will do it.
Yap is posting a YouTube video in team chat at this point, and he realizes he added a U, so he sends it again. We do have the hit coming up. 3-1, Jockey Charger Hunter with the spit, only getting 0.4% on that last hit. If the hits play out like that, Dynasty may just be able to make this work. The beautiful ski by learning. Follow up on the Charger is good though, and they will start to make headways into cutting down the bonus that they need to cut down, which is only about 300 more points.
Oh shit! Watch out!
Yep, and they are about to even push through the Cedar van. They don't get spawned in between, so at least Dynasty's pushing the envelope pretty impressively. They know they need to perform, and they're trying to do so, leaving all of the commons to chase from behind. There's quite a bit. Now the question is, are they able to push all the way forward and try to spawn the tank? Because Corey didn't even try. They just hit it and ran back, and I think they could go forward a little bit. Smoker pole gets not cleaned up right away. Jockey lands. This is big damage, even though it's not a lot. Hunter.
Ooh.
And they can't get the tank. They tried. No tanky. And they'll have to run back and fight off the horde.
No tanky.
And no tanky. And they might be able to just melt him down enough from being back here. See if they can do it before tanking.
Okay. 2-2. Charger going to be joined by the Jockey. Immediately spawns in and drops in. Won't find learning. Mortar spit. No spread. Learning gonna be careful not to back into it, and he is.
Commons flying through the sky. Kind of normal
Moon boot.
occurrence. I think 2 more hits before we get tank up. Not
Okay.
favorable hits either, though. A little bit difficult to find damage with these. Actually, they get good spawns, but I don't know how the Charger's gonna find something unless learning gets a little too sloppy on the side here. But Spooky's there to back him up. Spooky, a little late on the cover. Not much comes of it.
Let's try.
Yeah. 1361, and it looks like. All right, Linux. Yeah, be careful. There's still a Charger alive. You don't want to get grabbed by that Charger. All right. Looks like he's not going to go for it. They're going to wait patiently and going to spawn this tank. Or will they? Charger going to try? No, he's not.
Don't do it to him. Leave it to the Jockey. Leave that to the Jockey. Oh my god, dude. Dude, what?
Charger never went.
Healy should be sleeping with the fishies down below. That's all I know.
Tank takes the bottom route. That would have been so funny if he fell off and died.
Dude.
I didn't know you could walk on that with your SI. I thought you fell through.
I didn't either. Yeah.
I was like, you think he's just gonna like crack the tank? No, but all right, last tank of the game for Hokori into the hands of Linux. Barring look at the damage. They already got him to 1288, so it's less than 100 points now from locking in the victory and giving Hokori their 10th victory, tying a team that only played in France, but they have 10 first places in the history, and the only other team to do so.
Something about getting to those double digits. It's an incredibly monumental accomplishment. It's so amazing that so many teams are still competing in the year of 2025. Take it away, MK.
All right, his catchback separating this, not quite separating them. Nick is playing very aggressively. Oh my goodness! Magnets in spooky shoes, but he avoids it. Hunter finds the target. The tank will take the in cap. The jockey lands, and he's going to get the in cap, and that is going to be the victory for sure. And Linux has so much health yet that he's going to be able to grind out Spooky. Maybe not actually. He's backs off.
Oh my God!
What?
Nick!
Linux takes 900 health off the tank by himself. The tank is not going to get a kill. Maybe a rock, and he should die off here. And the charger will be 2 in caps coming out with the charger's assist. And let's see what the point
And
of battle is.
obviously, yeah, let's see. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here.
But I'm pretty sure it's mathematically out of range now.
I can almost definitively say that the 600 bonus is not quite going to be enough.
Come on now.
Nope. That is Hokori, number 10 victory incoming, unless they break some rules before they get into the safe room here. No, it is theirs to have.
That would be hilarious if they just started breaking tournament rules. Okay, just be like, you know what, we don't even want this. We don't even want this. But of course they do. Look at how hard they've worked for this. They almost got 2-0'd by Dynsty the week before this, and that would have finished up the cup because, again, these guys played from the loser bracket. It's something rare for Hokori to drop a match at all, to drop a series at all, but they did here earlier on in Copa Peru, so I believe South Stars earlier on. So that was insane. Charge comes out. It will not get the Insta. Wristburner is now sending YouTube videos of his own into the chat as well. I think it's the same one. Jockey trying to find Nick, and he will. He jerks home.
Ooh, what a clear.
Reload. I didn't catch the flu.
But they're going to end this in fashion. They want to make the safe room. I mean, they can win this chapter, and they'll win 2 chapters on this campaign. It is possible, but the smoker looks like it's going to grab. And it does. No self-clear. 1 tick, 2 ticks. Chad is the permanent health too. They do get the clear eventually, but not before that bonus drops and almost ticks below Corey's score. Not quite yet.
I think I really heard something.
One thing I gotta say, it comes in. I love Learning's aggression on the tank fights. I've kind of been disappointed by Learning's play in general a little bit here today. Sometimes tilt definitely happens. I felt like today was kind of a tilter for him. But his aggression on the tank and finding those, like, weaving in the melees. I mean, I was impressed. You know, normally, I think for most people, the tank, like baiting around and smacking around the corner, that would be enough to deter a normal human being from approaching the tank. But instead, Learning, he's the tank is charging up a rock, and he just runs through, he pulls out his melee, he just starts swinging at his face. He says, I don't care, I do not fear death. And it's really cool. It's really sick play. It gets a tank dead real fast. It does come in, some scratches here and there, and you know, it is what it is. At least Dynasty will be able to say that they walk into the safe room, probably, maybe. But at the end of the day, we do know it is going to be Hokori taking this one, and what a moment for them to be able to crown themselves the victors of so many cups, and to now be able to say we are the winners of Peru, of the Peru Cup. We are the champions of our nation.
Hunter counts a separated survivor. Charger covers with a charge. That is going to be Learning black and white now. Jockey gets melted, but does get a new cap. Boomer proxy. Actually, Hunter might get a kill if they don't clear Learning. And Learning barely survives. As Coach is in the back here helping Spooky get picked up with all these commons lingering in the back. Rochelle taking common damage to pick up Learning. Learning is now black and white. Spooky is now black and white. They still haven't made it yet, so you might have jinxed them by saying at least they'll make safe room now. We'll see if they will. And then we'll find out to see if the Spanish are doing an interview. Learning gets charged, punched, but no slam. As he's trying to wall bang the charger. And they will unalive him as well. And no, not another one. Learning leave.
He's out.
He
I'm
is
telling
out.
you.
He is not happy. And that will be it.
Hey, watch out!
Why me GG? Oh, okay, I see.
He said, "And my GG."
Build it.
And no,
Wow.
that will be Hokori
I'm
getting
ready.
the victory over Dynsty in the Copa Peru championship match, 4,172 to 3,002. GG, guys. No map 3. They wiped him clean sweep.